Richard Kendall, Marquess of Wilton, was beginning to wonder if finding the man who had ruined his sister's life was a fool's errand. He scowled down at the crumpled scrap of paper in his hand, 3 names already slashed through in furious strokes. Only one remained, a final Mr. Smith, as vague and common a name as the others. But what if this last lead was no different? What if this was just another dead end? Another false hope? With a sigh, he tossed the list onto the table and reached for his tankard of watered-down ale. The stuff was barely drinkable. He grimaced at the bitter swallow and longed for the comforts of home. His study, a crackling fire, and a glass of fine port. Not this miserable excuse for ale in a dingy coaching inn on the edge of nowhere. His body ached from the journey, the jolting coach ride turning his muscles stiff and sore. When had he become so old? He was not yet 30, yet the strain of this endless hunt weighed on him like an anvil strapped to his back. He glanced around the hall, carefully avoiding the hopeful glances of the barmaid weaving between the tables. Her bodice was indecently low, her smile overly bright. It was a desperate kind of bravado that made Richard's stomach twist with pity. She wasn't much older than he was, but years of fending off leering patrons had hollowed her gaze. She deserved better than the lot she was dealt, but he had no kindness to spare today. The door swung open, and Mr. Crosby, the Bow Street runner he had hired, entered the hall. Tall, broad and grim, the man moved with purpose, his boots thudding against the worn floorboards. Without preamble, the Bow Street runner pulled out a chair and said, "I come bearing good news." Richard was desperate for something, anything that would move this wretched search forward. "I could use some," he muttered. Crosby leaned in, lowering his voice. "I spotted a man fitting your sister's description leaving a manor on the edge of the village this morning." Every part of Richard snapped to attention. "Did you speak to him?" "I did not," Crosby replied. "I thought it would be best to approach the manor together." Richard shoved back his chair, the legs scraping harshly against the floor. "We should go now," he said. Crosby, however, remained seated, his hand tapping the table. "Are you sure that's wise?" "I am," Richard asserted. "I'll challenge him to a duel and we'll be on the road before sunset." "Or you'll be dead," Crosby pointed out. Richard gave him a smug smile. "I am an excellent shot." "And you think he isn't?" "He's a coward," Richard replied. "He eloped with my sister to Gretna Green, only to abandon her the moment he had her dowry in his hands. He deserves a fate far worse than a bullet."